Back to the Shack in Oregon. Gosh, I love that song. I wanted to play the whole thing, but I knew they would copyright me, right? Right away, zap, you're done. Then you got through. It's not easy to like delete or edit copyrighted material. It's not easy. They don't make it easy. So yeah, it's like it'd be great, right? Copyright, right? If it said you've been copyright strike for this, and it's not a strike, it's just a warning, copyright on this song. You played this song, and it would be great if you just pressed on the copyright thing and it said edit out portion. Easy, right? But no, they can't do it that way. You got like 15 other steps to make it work. No! Anyway, it's great to see you guys. Happy Sunday. We got a good show for you today.
Who's on first? What's on second? I don't know who's on third.
First one in from the UK is Andy Kelly, 2 Echo 0, Romeo Echo Echo. He came in first. Well done, Andy. You did it, mate. He just got the letter F in there, and that's all he did, but he got in first. Well done. And Ape, you came in first almost. It was really close. Man, there was like 0 comments on the screen, right? And all of a sudden, everything just kind of blew up, and you were second, but it is important we do play your music. My friend, it's good to see you. Thanks again for all the kind words you say about me. I don't deserve a lot of that stuff. So thank you. You're a very good man. I appreciate you very much. The Smoking Ape, find him here on YouTube. He's an excellent guy, and he's willing to help you out with stuff. If you have questions in the comment section, put them here. He's good at answering questions. Ape, welcome. We're glad you're here. It's a cool song. I love that song. Jenna, good to see you, hon. November 4th, Juliet Echo Hotel. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers around the world. Welcome back to Ham Radio Live. Thank you, Jenna. It's very nice. And I echo that. To all the fathers that are watching, happy Father's Day to you. If you've got sons or daughters that are part of your life, man, just hold on to that and grow old with that. That's so important. And if you don't, maybe, you've had to, bury a child. I have my utmost sympathy. I know Father's Day can be a hard day for you. I'm sorry. For those who maybe had, kids that didn't do the right thing and kind of went their own way and forgot all about you, well, I know how that feels. Just keep moving forward. That's life. Keep moving forward and hope that what you ingrained upon them growing up was enough to give them a good start in life. That's the best you can hope for. We got a good show today and a lot of fun for you guys. The main reason we come, though, is to help you get in amateur radio. It's really important we get to this first. Contact someone like the American Radio Relay League. Find them online at www.arrl.org. Hit the contact us bar. Let them know where you're located. And what they'll do is they'll send you an email back that'll have a very good amateur radio club close to you in the world, wherever you live, that'll help you get your license. www.arrl.org. If you hear from WRMICQ calling, welcome to the show. Pull up a chair, 2 cups of coffee, and let's talk radio. That'll be fun. If also you want to email me, feel free and reach out. It's cqhamradiolive@gmail.com. We got a cool Discord page as well called ham-radio-live. Put it in the comment section. It'll be at the very top when we do the show. Have a question for you today. What was your goal getting into amateur radio, and have you reached it yet? This is very personal, and it could be shortwave too, right? Maybe you wanted to get 100 countries, right? Are you close? Did you get there? Put in the comment section. Let's make it part of today's show. It should be fun. The weather today is powered by ICOM. ICOM for the love of ham radio. And this is a good A1A. Just because we barely missed, a really big number, this past week, doesn't mean that this isn't good. This is actually a very good A1A and good conditions out there today. The problem is the solar wind. It has been coming down all day today, but just not soon enough. That's the best way to describe the A1A today. And, the 10-meter band, I know it's been playing with us a lot in the north, but hang in there. It'll come back. We just have to be patient with it. And that's part of what amateur radio is about. We try our best to wait on stuff that's really important to us, like getting up to 10 meters, because a lot of DX is there. You'll certainly find a lot of South America on 10 right now. I mean, South America is blazing with South America right now. It really is. And you have to wait till later in the day, if you're in the north, to be able to get it. So hang in there. Just be patient, hang in there, and good times will be coming. As they say, let the good times roll. That's it. So this is your A1A. The bad news here is the sunspots are going away. We're going to see decreasing SFI numbers as we go on through the next few days. But still, good conditions. Not anything bad here. We've got decent conditions on this A1A. The backside, this is where you kind of see the sunspots all going away. Yeah. Hold. like that. Yeah, and you kind of see everything, but there are some sunspots coming, so hang in there. We'll get some good conditions. Here is the coronal hole map. Nothing facing Earth right now, but we have a big solar wind still going on. Magnetosphere view shows all the sunspots, plenty in the middle, but a lot going off to the the west limb of the sun. So it's kind of disappearing. Last 3 days of solar flares, this is where we've had the problem. We didn't get any CMEs from all those sunspots. We just didn't. And now we're down 3 from yesterday. We had 9 sunspots yesterday. We're down to 6 today, but still decent conditions to work your amateur radio. The SFI today, 140. It's down 9 from yesterday. Solar sunspot number is down 7 to 145. Area number, though, is up 640. That's up 130. So that's good. That really tells us the radiation level coming from the sun. The K index, this is the KP index, noise floors around the world, pretty good. We don't have bad conditions today. It's not like this is an awful day to work your amateur radio. Let's take a look at the conditions out of Boulder. SFI is 140, solar number 145. A index is a little high at 14. That's honest truth. When you get to the A index, once you get above 8, it starts to get unsettled. That's why we have the conditions that are unsettled. When you see geomagnetic field down there at the bottom, fourth one up is unsettled. That's why it's a 14 for an A index. K index is 3, which is also a little bit high. K3 is normal, but not quiet. But the reason why when you look at QRZ right now, you see geomag unsettled is simply because the A index is at a 14. So that's what's going on right now. Good conditions, though. BZ is level. It's perfect. It's 0. But the solar wind's a little high at 566.3 kilometers per second. The good news is it's going down. Earlier today, the QRZ was at 613.1 at 1340 GMT. Now we're definitely much lower, 566.3. You can see the conditions, the HF band conditions. You might wonder why on 80 and 40 daytime is poor. The reason for that is because there's a lot of radiation hitting the D layer and it's charging it up like crazy. So 80 and 40 are not going to give you great conditions daytime and only fair conditions during the night. They'll be better than what they think. I believe that. 30 and 20 are good both day and night. 17, 15 will be good. We'll take a look more at that in the forecast. The current Kilo Charlie 2 Golf map, we're not quite ready for you yet, are we? I don't think so. That's the map we're looking for. Right now in Alaska, if you're way up there enjoying the northern lights, and that mean the sun is up almost all the time, 18 megahertz right now out of Anchorage, right about the U.S. and Canadian border, right about 18 megahertz there as well. 17 in the Southern California coast, 25 out of New Orleans, 20 out of New England right now, heading towards South America. You got a swath of 10 meters going through the northern part of Brazil and then out through the northern part of Argentina. See how it kind of swings around there like that? Also 10 meters in the central part of Africa, about 16 megahertz where Winan lives in Namibia. 8 megahertz out of Cape Town. In Europe, 24 Great Britain, 24 France, 23 in Germany, 26 Italy, 24 in Bulgaria. Heading to the Far East, 17 Tokyo. Over in the beautiful country of Australia, 13 along the Gold Coast, 12 around Melbourne. If you're over in Perth, look at that in the dark. In the dark there at 13 megahertz, just phenomenal conditions. And our mates in New Zealand are already on 15 megahertz, so 21 megahertz there. It's around the 15 meter band is what I meant to say. So New Zealand, our ZL friends are in good condition. Your ham and shortwave forecast for today and the next few days. Longest sunlight days in the Northern Hemisphere are here, my friends. June 21st is the first day of summer. So the next 4 or 5 days, 6 days are going to be brilliant. Lots of sun to charge up the ionosphere. SFIs, though, will continue to fall into the 130s and 120s into Tuesdays. That should be Tuesday, and then we probably will level out around 120. Or, I don't think we're going to hit 100, but it's possible. I think we probably will bottom around 120, though. Noise floors stay fairly quiet through Tuesday night. Voice bands 20, 17, 15, 12, and possible 10 late in the day in the Northern Hemisphere. Equatorial latitudes 20, 17, 15, 12, and 10. Same for the South. CB radio skip Northern Hemisphere, not too many openings for you. Mid and South latitudes, good 11-meter DXs available, and data modes will work 30 to 10 meters in all latitudes. Great nighttime conditions through tomorrow night, my friends. Nighttime band openings 160, 80, 75, 60, 40, 30, your best DX on your maximum usable frequency at sunset. Then work your lower bands until you reach 40 and 80 meters overnight. Shortwave friends, today during the daytime, 31 meters is great. 25 sounded good this afternoon. 22 and 19 meters as well. Shortwave nighttime bands 120, 90, 75 and 60, 49, 41, 31, 25, 22, and 100% chance of 19 meters in the northern hemisphere about 4 hours after sunset. It's because spring is gone and summer is just about here. The longest days of the year in the northern hemisphere should get some great conditions on 19 meters overnight for sure. Yeah. Day solar rankings an 8. It's not bad. This really is not a bad. If you look at QRZ, this isn't terrible. It could be so much worse. We could be like 110, if it was forecast, we'd be probably around 90. So this is really a good SFI and decent conditions to work your radio today. I want to welcome you to the show. I am so glad to see you guys. Sorry it took a long time. I've never measured how many show elements I do. Sometimes I say like 102. There's the most ever in this show. So I do hope you enjoy it. The hope here is to encourage you to try and get your amateur extra license. So that's going to be a big deal. I'll talk to you about why that's important. Also, we'll have some amateur extra license test questions and answers. We're also going to talk about Meteor Scatter and how it works. It's a really quick form of communication, and the best way to do it typically is with digital modes because you're trying to catch the trail of a meteorite and going through the ionosphere. So the ionospheric trail of that meteorite and working off that little bit of energy. It's amazing how it works. Plus, we're going to celebrate someone from the channel who finally got their hex beam up, and we'll take a look at our Discord channel and see what's going on there. Don't forget, please, this topic question for today's show about goals. Have you received your goal yet when you first got into radio? And what was it? What was your goal getting into amateur radio, and did you get it? Mine's halfway. I'll be honest. My first goal was to get VK and someone in Great Britain. I wanted to work both, Great Britain and Australia. Well, I've got Australia, but not yet the people in England. I'm trying. We'll see. Let's check your comments real while before we go, and we'll move on. There's our guy that just got his hex beam up. That's Will Myers. Yep. Kilo Alpha 8 Golf India Mike. We'll have a segment coming up for you, my friend. My brother Bob, courtesy WIFI, welcome. And WECB 640 from Boston is here. Welcome, sir. Good to see you, my friend. We could talk radio forever. You can always talk radio with old time, with guys who've been in the business a long time and just share stories. It's like the coolest thing ever. It's an honor you're here, and I haven't said enough. Thank you very, very much for coming to the show today. Andy Bronson, welcome. Mike 7, X-Ray Tango Tango. Richard Clark, Mike 7, Delta Lima, Quebec. Thank you for being here. We appreciate you. As well as Andy New. Hello, my friend. Always a pleasure to be here with you. And let's see here. Richard Clark, Mike 7, Delta Lima, Quebec. Thanks for coming. Steve, 2 Echo 0, X-Ray Sierra Hotel, brand new amateur intermediate licensee in the UK. How about that? Amazing. Well done. Kelly Holton, welcome. It's nice to meet you. I've never met you. First timer, welcome. Nice to meet you. I'm Larry. It's nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Sandy, welcome. Nice to meet you too. Sandy, what an honor. This is truly an honor for me. My name's Larry. Welcome to Ham Radio Live. Your call sign, Kilo Oscar 4. Oscar. Welcome to the show. First timers, yeah. And is that your favorite AC? It's funny. He said that's his favorite AC/DC song. It's A Long Way to the Top. Great music video. Oh my gosh, it's so cool. It's just a cool music. If you can't get into a whole bunch of bagpipe guys playing in the middle of that song, it's just so good. Really good. Mine, I think, is probably Thunderstruck, but that is a very close second. Hey, thank you, buddy. Thank you. Rodney's here from Holland. Welcome, Rodney. Pop Alpha 9 Romeo Whiskey. Always a good show when you're here. And there's my main man. He's the assistant producer of this show, Dirk Whiskey 9 Romeo Delta Yankee. Welcome back. Good to see you, buddy. Moses is here. First timer. Welcome. Jenna actually brought him over. Yep. Jenna is so sweet. She talked to Moses about the show, and Moses got a hold of us on Discord. Moses, it's really nice to meet you. Thank you for coming today. What a treat. Wow. What a treat. And there's Avery. There's your sister. Kilo 4 Victor Romeo Yankee. This is going to be a fun show. Kelly, thank you. Very, very kind. Adesh is here from Trinidad. Welcome. It is awesome to have you back, Adesh. Thank you. Roger McKeon and Molly Kilo Juliet 7 Lima X-Ray. Welcome. Jeff Porter, my mate from Hayden Island. We're going to talk a lot about you in a coming show. Truly. We're going to show, Hayden Island's a neat place. It's right at the very northern part of Portland. It's just almost in Washington State. It's a neat place. And Jeff is lucky enough to live there. Alpha Delta 7, Lima, November. Welcome, Jeff. Good to have you back. Great picture coming up today for you. Scruffy is here. That means our friends in Australia, Victor Kilo 5 Sugar Coated Radio. Welcome, Scruff. A day off today. That's good. 5x9. First of all, great. That's a great handle for YouTube. Love that. And it's nice to meet you. That's another first timer. First time I made the live show. Happy Father's Day as well to you. Thank you. Thanks a lot. That's very nice to say that. Wow. Gary Strong, hello to you, Whiskey 9 Papa Papa Yankee. He is here all the way from Las Vegas, Nevada. And he comes almost every day. Gary, I don't tell you enough how much it means to me. Thank you very, very much. Knock Underground, Charlie Delta 2, my tongue just got tagged, sorry. Charlie Delta 2, Charlie Kilo, Quebec. He's all the way here from Chile. That is continent number 5 already. Holy cow. I had dropped the pen. It's my pleasure to meet you. Thanks for coming today to the show. Wow. Oh, man. It's really nice to meet you. Thank you. Wow. What a neat thing. And thank you very much, Sandy, about Happy Father's Day. It's very nice. Good group today, and I hope you do enjoy the show. Country Strong and Free is here. Don't worry about being late. You didn't miss a doggone thing. Andy News said, just getting licensed was the original goal, and I reached that. The goal has now changed, and my horizons are pointing to the intermediate license. Haven't yet reached that goal, but I will. You will, Andy. That's great. Wow. Avery from Georgia, she says, my current goal is to be able to completely head copy CW. You'll get there, kiddo. Absolutely. You're so smart. Way smarter than me. Way smarter than I am. William Crawford, Alpha Delta 8, India Tango. I love that call sign. 88 it. 88 it. William, good to see you. Thanks for coming, man. Wow. 5x9, trying to work Z21 Romeo uniform on 17 CW, but they're working European mostly. Oh, man. But hang in there. You know, a lot of times just hang in there and you'll work the call. That's really good. And thanks a lot for being a part of the show. I mean that. Grant Bob, it was just a natural progression from SWL listening and playing with scanners. More stuff to play with and things to figure out. And that's how a lot of people came into this hobby. And as well, Morse code too. Yeah. Rodney, the awesome man there. And thanks for the link. That's the MUF map for Kilo Charlie 2 Delta. Thanks, Rod. That's really very nice. And he says, how is the solar wind measured? It's measured by a spacecraft that's right there at the Van Allen belt, the radiation belt, basically. And as the solar wind comes in, it measures the solar wind. It's also an indicator when a CME comes. So that satellite that's right there at the Van Allen radiation belt, that's where it tells us if we have a negative BZ component or a positive one. But it also measures the solar wind and knows when we hit a CME. Andy, that's a great question. Thank you for asking that. VK Radio Ham, that's Graham. Welcome back to Victor Kilo 3, Golf Echo Kilo. This is a great group today. Wow, I can't believe it. This is nice. Winan, look at this. And I see, this is what I mean by the fifth continent. Winan is here, and he's all the way from Namibia in Africa. And to me, that is so special. Winan, I haven't said enough how much it means to me that you come to the shows. Thank you very much for being here all the way from Africa. Okay, bud? I promised him if he came, when he came, I'd always play that song. That's why I play it for him. It means a lot. Wow. 5x9, how I missed 10 meter conditions. Yeah, it teased us this spring. We had it for a little bit and then it just went away. That's what it did. Wendy, welcome. Central Florida's here. Whiskey 4 Lima Sierra. It's always a pleasure to have you here. Thanks for the roar all the way from Africa, from Winan. And Mike Galloway's back. Hi, Mike. Kilo Delta 1 Hotel Foxtrot. What a great call sign. Oh, my gosh. That's such a great call sign. Folks, I need to get going here to the show, and I want to thank you for being here, wherever you're coming from. Do have an answer to the question here. Jeff Porter out of Hayden Island, Oregon. At one point, I wish that there was a higher amateur class above extra just because I wanted more radio information to study for. Now being disabled, that is a no-go for retaining new material. Hang in there, Jeff. I hope the extra test today, there might be a few questions that maybe you didn't know, and maybe it'll help you today. There's always something we can learn. Man, I learn every day. I do. In this hobby, I do learn every day. So I hope today's show help you. There's a lot in this show. 5x9, my goal currently to put my tower back up in Yagi after some years inactive at this QTH. Man, that's great. Yeah, me too. I'm in the same boat, brother. Same boat. I'm almost at the point where I'm just, you get like this close, right? And then it just falls apart. You get this close again, falls apart. It's like, oh gosh, is it ever going to happen? So yeah, right now doesn't look like we're going to get there yet, but we'll certainly try. Dirk in Wisconsin, my goal was to get involved in message and traffic handling. Haven't achieved it yet. Hang in there, Dirk. with a lot of VHF, UHF stuff and packet and stuff, a lot of stuff can be done that way. So hang in there. And nets too. I know Jeff was talking about doing a net for Ham Radio Live. We may do that. That's definitely a possibility. But I think, maybe that's something that's in your future too. And you're smart enough. You'll get there. You really will. Don't give up on that, Dirk. Street News Now. Welcome. Los Angeles is here. Welcome to the show. Whiskey Romeo, Quebec, Juliet 882. It's good to have you, my friend. People that may not know who that is, that would be his his CB call. So welcome. Good to have you. And there's Kelly. Kelly Olden. I'm William Myers' wife. Welcome. That's an XYL right there. Kelly. We're going to show her pictures today of putting up Williams Tower. He had it there on the ground for so long. Wow. Red Summiter up. This Charlie. Charlie, happy Father's Day to you. I hope the very best for you and your family. God bless you, brother. Thank you. It's a good day to say happy Father's Day. So, yeah, thank you very much. Thank you, Ben. Jenna, let me ask very good topic questions. Sometimes I go a whole show and no one answers a question. I go, I don't think it worked very well today, but thank you, my friend. Rodney, Papa Alpha 9, Romeo Whiskey, all the way in Holland. My goal is to rebuild my big gun station. Yeah. Big gun, it'd be cool to have that. It would be cool to get just that directional. Gosh darn it. Whining, please let me know how to pull out my antenna when you TX so you won't blow my phone. Oh, yeah, right? Yeah, Rodney be blowing him away. Rodney's good with antennas. He is. Victory DP, welcome. Wow, no team replay for me today. Happy Father's Day. All good for you, mate. Happy Father's Day to you as well. Good group today, man. We are just loaded with good people and kind people as well. This is a great group of people. Roger McKeon, my short-term goal is to get my general. Long-term goal is Summit on the Air activations. And you do that, here's your guy right there to help you. That's Charlie from Red Summit RF. Man, oh man, Raj, he's a good guy. He'll help you. He's good. He says he'll be talking field day prep for his live stream today at 2300 UTC. Folks in the States, that's 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. So please watch that. He's got a great channel. And he's been, he's on vacation. He is going to be revved up and ready to roll. He will be. Charlie's had a little break for a while. Kjell in Norway, I see USA is coming on 17 meters. Yes, 17 is about it. 17 is really where we need to be in the States if you want to work some DX. That's good. Good stuff. Kjell, thank you for joining the show. We talked about ways we communicate, different rabbit holes, so to speak, in amateur radio, right? There's, slow scan television. There is FT8, right? The digital modes. You've got CW, which is Morse code, radio teletype. There is moon bounce. And there's also Meteor Scatter. We're going to talk about Meteor Scatter today. I'll have the producer of this YouTube channel's YouTube link, so you can subscribe to his channel down below in the description section. I think it's really good. And it talks about how you do Meteor Scatter. It's very similar. For example, if you're going to do like FT8, if you're used to WSJT software, you'll love it. So 5-minute quick video on how to do Meteor Scatter. And this is really good. I hope you guys enjoy this part of the show. It's one of those times where I look at it and just go, man, oh man, I wish I had the skill this guy does. Enjoy.
So what is Meteor Scatter? The process of bouncing VHF, UHF signals off the ionized trails of meteors passing by the Earth provides a reliable means to make contacts over greater distances and increase worked-off states and grid totals. The following bands and modes are used for Meteor Scatter. WSJT version 9.7 will be used for this demonstration, mode FSK441, and assumes you have your transceiver, sound card interface, computer, and means to key your radio working correctly. Ensure you've installed a software program to keep your computer clock accurate to within 1 second or better, such as Dimension 4. FSK441 runs a 30-second sequence of transmit and receive. Once the auto on button is clicked, the program transmits for 30 seconds and then receives for 30 seconds. Make sure your transceiver and amplifier have sufficient cooling for this digital mode of operation. What determines which station transmits first? The station that is furthest west, or if you have to point your beam west of north or south, you are second. If you have to point your beam east of north or south, you are first. If you are first, ensure you check the TX first box in the WSJT window.
All right, hold on. We're going to go back just a skosh here because I don't want you guys to get confused here, all right? The station that's furthest west is the one that transmits first. Or if you have to point your beam to the west or north of south, you're going to be second. Okay? If you have to point your beam east of north or south, you're going to be first. It's a little confusing, right? But you can get this down. If you are first, ensure you check the TX first box in the WSJT window. Just a little bit about this thing because I didn't want you guys to be confused over a quick segment there. So that's how you figure out who's the first one to transmit during Meteor Scatter.
North or south, you are second. If you have to point your beam east of north or south, you are first. If you are first, ensure you check the TX first box in the WSJT window. Okay, make sure you study and memorize the recommended QSO procedures, and if you happen to forget, just press the F5 key on your keyboard to bring them up. Okay, we'll go ahead and open up WSJT9, and it opens up our audio streams. In this case, we've selected input 4 and 19, which coincides with our USB audio codec 6 for our signal link unit. Okay, we'll go to Setup and click Options, and here we'll verify that our audio in and our audio out matches our streams in our WSJT window, and you can see PTT port is 9. And ensure you fill out the top 2 blocks with your call sign and grid locator. Okay, we'll head on over here to Ping Jockey Central to set up a QSO with somebody. In this case, we'll be running with K4MSG Paul in Virginia, FM 19 on 144.145. Okay, in the to radio block, we'll enter K4MSG, click Lookup, and it should enter Paul's grid square. If it doesn't, you'll have to do it manually. Click General Messages. We'll put a checkbox in the TX first box since we are west of Paul, and ensure your transmit and receive single tone boxes are checked. Take a look at the azimuth and hot A heading and get your beam headed that way. We'll go ahead and click Monitor to start the software programming receiving. And you'll want to adjust the slider at the bottom of your Spec JT window to read 0 dB. We'll go ahead and select Auto On, and the software will start transmitting in just a few more seconds. Okay, as you can see now, I've started my 30-second transmit sequence, and TX1 box is highlighted in yellow, and I'm sending Paul's call and my call. We're on 144.145 and currently putting out about 993 watts. The top part of the screen shows the radio view, while the bottom section shows the computer view. And as a reminder, we're on a 30-second transmit-receive sequence. Okay, you'll see a ping come in here. We'll click on it to decode it. And you can see we've got partial calls. So we just keep on going. Okay, you'll see we get another ping here. We'll go ahead and click on it to decode it. And as you can see, it was a false decode, so we keep on going. We need both calls or both calls in a signal report. Okay, we got a nice big ping come in. We'll go ahead and decode it. And as you can see, we've got both calls in a signal report. So we immediately switch to transmit 3, which is R26. We'll be sending R26 back to Paul now. Okay, that was a nice loud ping back. And as you can see, we've received a RRR from Paul, which actually constitutes the completion of the QSO. However, I now switch to transmit 5 and send my 7.3. While not mandatory, sending 7.3 lets the other station know you've received his RRR and that the QSO is completed. Okay, now the QSO is complete. Me and Paul can talk about it on Ping Jockey, and here we congratulate each other on our QSO. Okay, now for the most important part, don't forget to log your QSO. Click on the Log QSO button, and then just go ahead and select Yes. I would like to thank Geddes W8BYA, Larry W5LDA, and Paul K4MSG for their help and support in getting on Meteor Scatter. Work the meteors before they work you.
There you go. Nice video. And we'll put the producer of that video in the description section of this video of this show. It'll be fun. I hope you enjoy it. He has a lot of good stuff on his channel. And, working meteors, that's very tough to do because you only have a very short time. And because summer is here, meteor season is really actually here. We have June, July. Of course, the August one is a Perseid meteor shower, which is quite extensive throughout the month of August. Maybe something that might interest you. Try out. That'd be fun. We got some great answers to today's question of the show. The question today is about goal setting. Okay. What was your goal getting into amateur radio, and have you reached it? Some neat comments have come in. I've really enjoyed seeing them as they've come into the show. Let me get some of these in here so you can kind of see what's going on. Whining in Africa, my long-term goal is to be the lowest 100-watt powered station with the biggest signal, or use 100 watts and be comparable with a 1 kilowatt station and a 4-element beam. That definitely, if you got good gain, it'd be pretty darn close. Whining, that's a nice goal. Well done. And you've got a beam already. And he uses it just by turning himself. He really does. He's in Namibia. And Whining, we're just grateful you're here. And that's really good stuff. Goals also that came in, which is kind of cool. Jeff from Portland, anything space and radio. And I'm in. Very well. Yes. And Charlie from Red Summit RF, short-term goal, get on a regular practice schedule for CW. Long-term goal is 40 words per minute of CW proficiency. Charlie, that's amazing. That's so good, man. It really is. Jenna in Georgia, she says, my goal is to learn Morse code, which I've achieved, and to become very proficient in it, which I'm getting there. Oh, and I can't forget my goal of getting my extra ticket. You'll get there. You will. Hang in there. It's well worth going. And we're going to go into that segment next. So I hope you enjoy that. And I loved something that Jeff Porter put. It's funny. Look at this. 993 watts.
To generate the 1.21 gigawatts of electricity. 1.21 gigawatts! 1.21 gigawatts!
Yeah. That's a lot of power, right? But I guess it works. That's the way it goes. All right. We're going to talk today about the amateur extra license. When I was first studying for my amateur radio ticket, I knew I wanted to get all three, but I was told, oh no, if you get away with general, you're fine. General is great. You can get away with just the general license. That you do 97% of the frequencies. It'll get you a great start, and then you can go for it later. And I looked at the frequencies I was missing, and I'll explain why I really wanted to get the extra ticket. Let me show you a little bit about why the extra is so important. Here is the U.S. amateur band plan. Now, keep in mind, there are 3 IARU regions in the world. The International Radio and Telecommunications Union has 3 regions. Region 1 comprises basically all of Europe, all of North Asia, and the Middle East and Africa. That's Region 1. Region 2 is for us in the States, along with South America, Canada, Greenland, and Hawaii. So all the way out to Hawaii. And then you've got Region 3, which is the southern part of Asia. You get India, the Philippines, China, goes down in through Indonesia into Australia and New Zealand. So that's Region 3. All right. So the thing is it all has to do with how the band plans don't match up if you're not an extra. All right. Take a look real quick let's start at the top. We'll go with 80 meters. As a general, you start at 3.8 megahertz. That's where you start, right? And that doesn't, it seems okay. 3.8, not a problem. But take a look at this. This is IRU region number 1. So this is the area there with Europe and North Asia and Africa. Here's 3.5 megahertz. It stops where you start getting your license. See that? The end of 80 meters is at 3.8 megahertz in Europe. Take a look at the band plan. You start You got to start at 3.8. So you're missing any DX you could get from Europe on 80 meters because they can only go to 3.8. That's the top of the band in the UK and throughout Europe and as well as Africa and part of the Middle East. That's it, 3.8. If you go to 7 megahertz, so we're going to 40 meters, it ends at 7.2 megahertz. That's where the band plan stops in IARU region number 1, okay? The band plan here, you guys start at 7.175. Okay, so technically, because it's lower sideband, it really starts at 7.178. So you're 7.178 to 7.2 megahertz. And again, in IARU region number 2, the end of 40 meters is at 7.2 megahertz. So you only get basically, what is that? 22 megahertz. That's what megahertz. Oh my gosh. Wow. Larry's tired today, I guess. Obviously, Larry's sleepy. 22 kilohertz, all you get to work. That's it. That's why getting the extra is so important because you're missing so much of the 40 meter frequency that people in IARU region number 1 and 3 are on. So if you go to 3, here's 80 meters. They stop at 3.9. So you have a chance to work IARU region number 3 because they go to 3.9 megahertz. Also, the DX window for region number 3 is at 3795. That's the DX window that they want you to work on 80 meters, okay? 60 meters is very different as well in region 3. There's only 3 channels there. That's it, just 3 for region 3. On the 40 meter band in region 3, see, it stops just like it does in region number 1, 7.2 megahertz. You see that? So if you're a general, you're at 7.178 to 7.2 megahertz to work region 3 and to work region number 1. That's it. So your band plan here in the States is pretty specific, right? For generals, you can't start on 80 meters for voice until 3.8. That kills you already for region number 1 because they can't go higher than 3.8, and it messes you up as well for region number 3. Region now on 40 meters, 7.175 is the dead. That's dead. You can't put any transmissions below that. So that means you have to be up 3 because it's lower sideband. So you're at 7.178 to 7.2. I'm sorry, 7.3 in the States. Sorry, 7.3 in the States. But take a look at our IARU region number 3. So this is, again, the third region is over here. That's South Asia, all through the Philippines, Indonesia, India, and Australia, New Zealand. All right. You guys have to stop at 7.2. That's the end of the 40 meter band in region number 1 and region number 3. So all of Asia, all of Europe, all of Africa, and all of Australia stops here on 40 meters at 7.2. So you get 22 kilohertz to work them. If you go to the 20 meter band and on, everything is the same. You're not going to miss anything here, really. I mean, 15 meters is 15 meters. It's all the same. You're not going to miss too much there. The main things you're going to miss is you're going to miss on 80 and 40, okay? How much more do you get when you get the extra ticket for 40 meters? Well, you go all the way down to 7.128, okay? So the difference is 50 kilohertz. That gives you 70 kilohertz now to work with, more than you had. 50 kilohertz more. So it ends up being 78 kilohertz, is it 78? 72, 72 kilohertz to work the world. That's a lot better than 22, right? That's the reason you do it. Same with on 80. On 80, you're basically dead because region 1 doesn't go above 3.8. Region 3 goes to 3.8 to 3.9. So you got a little sliver there to work a little bit of maybe Australia, Indonesia, and India. This is why the extra is so important, because that's the DX you're missing, because they can't go any higher than that. We're really blessed in region 2 to have as much frequency as we have. It's the most there is allocated in the world. And it's because we don't have enough shortwave broadcasters here that need to get their signals out. That's the whole reason why it's different here. So again, take a look quickly. Region number 1, the big deal here is 80 meters ends at 3.8 and the general license starts at 3.8. If you go 40 meters, you start here in the States at 7.178, which puts you 22 kilohertz to work with. That's to work with Europe, Asia, Middle East, okay? If you go to the 80 meter plan for the folks in region 3, They also end at 3.9. So you get an extra, you get 100 kilohertz to work with to work region 3, all right, on 80. 60, you only get 3 channels. That's all they have in region number 3. Region number 3, 40 meters, ends just like it does in region 1 at 7.2. So 22 megahertz to work the world. That's all. That's why it's important to get your amateur radio license. Your amateur extra license. That's why. It's because DX is missing. You're missing all those calls from other countries that are in that 50 kilohertz swath if you're talking about, the 40 meter band, and literally 200 or so kilohertz on the 80 meter band. It's DX. It's all there. So that's why we want you to license up. Hopefully today we'll have some help for you. We're going to do our Ham Bites today segment on the Amateur Extra License Exam. Now, this is powered by Ham Test Online. It's a software that knows you. It has online courses for all 3 exams, plus it has the brand new technician license, which starts on July the 1st. So, good place. Ham Test Online, a money-back guarantee if you don't pass. That's the way it works. When you go there, here is what everything looks like. They have multiple tests you can take. And it's just kind of a very easy thing to work with. And if you get it wrong, it'll give you the chance to figure out why you didn't get it right. It's pretty cool. First question, and this is important. I hope I have enough visual illustrations to help you understand some of this. What happens as the Q of an antenna increases? Okay, the Q of an antenna. The answer here is SWR bandwidth decreases. That's what happens. You'll find narrow Q antennas like screwdriver antennas on a vehicle, okay? Magnetic loops, if you have a mag loop antenna, that's going to be a narrow Q antenna. And when that happens, your SWR bandwidth decreases significantly. If you have a software-defined radio, that, even a radio that has a waterfall, some kind of pen adapter, you'll really see the difference in SWR because the window is very tight. It'll show you visually it's a very tight window. So as the Q of an antenna increases, the SWR bandwidth decreases. That's the correct answer. And a good illustration of it is right here. The blue arc really shows just how deep that Q can be, how narrow. It can be as narrow as 7 or 8 kilohertz. That's all. You'll just see 7 or 8 kilohertz. So that's why they say when what happens as the Q of an antenna increases, it means your SWR bandwidth decreases. That's all. It just means it's a tighter window of SWR. Next question, which of the following may reduce or eliminate intermodulation interference in a repeater caused by another transmitter operating in close proximity? Well, that's an interesting question, isn't it? This one, when I was trying to take the test, there was a word I put with this, and it was circulator. I'd never heard the word before. So I knew if I got this question that talked about IMD with a repeater, the answer that circulator on it would be the correct answer. And sure enough, that's what it was. So, sometimes you have to find little hints that will help you to pass the test. And I really do believe if you pass the test, if you go through the test, the amateur extra, if you go through the amateur extra license exam, you go through the test questions and you get those out right away. And the ones you don't know, put a line by. The ones you kind of think put a check mark by. Remember, there's no time limit in the States. You can take your time to take the test. And the good thing is, 50 questions versus 35, you can miss more and still be an amateur extra licensee. It's so important. It really is. Next question. Which of the following test instruments is used to display spurious signals and or intermodulation distortion products generated by a single sideband transmitter? The answer here is a spectrum analyzer. Okay, a spectrum analyzer will show intermodulation distortion products, and it's very simple to see. If you've ever looked at a waterfall and you see a crowded band and you see a very wide bandwidth that's really going out a long ways, that's spurious emissions. Your waterfall will show you that. Again, waterfall is a spectrum analyzer. You can see it right there on the spectrum scope. So look for it. And sometimes, God, I have really thought, gosh, to tell the person, could you maybe tone it down just a little bit because you're really splattering 10 wide? And I've seen it. So that'll help you, to remember that answer. Next one, what impedance does a quarter wave length transmission line present to a generator when the line is open to the far end? Okay. Now, who cares, right? But the fact is that's on the test. All right. The impedance that a quarter wavelength of transmission line present to a generator when the line is open at the far end is very low impedance. Just remember, very low impedance. It's a weird question. This is a very weird question. If you remember this and why those go together, it's low impedance because we're talking about a quarter wave transmission line at a generator when the line's open at the far end. It will have a very low impedance. It's not hooked up to anything. That's a good way to remember that. Okay, what type of bias is required for an LED to emit light? Okay, when you shine an LED flashlight, which way does the light go? It goes forward, doesn't it? If you answer the question forward, you'll have it correct. When you see the LED and you find out about it, first of all, it's forward bias is the way it's emitting. You know, forward bias is the answer. LEDs shine light out, therefore forward bias is the answer. It's just a quick way to, kind of put your mind in with the answers. I'll be honest with you. This one's very different. This one has to do with digital coding, all right? What are some of the differences between the Baudot digital code and ASCII? Okay? This is something that's very, very interesting, all right? Because there is a difference. And here is the one that is the easiest way to get the answer correct. ASCII has no shift code. It has no letters and the figures shift code. There's zero to it, okay? So if you know that ASCII has no letters and no shift code, you're good, okay? Baudot uses 5, and that's an easy way to remember too. Baudot is always 5, okay? And ASCII is 7 or 8. That's another way to remember too. So Baudot is 5, and ASCII is 7 or 8. How I wished it could have been the other way around, because if it's ASCII, that would be 5 letters, right? Easy to correlate the two, but this one doesn't work that way. Baudot uses 2 characters as letters, figures, shift codes. ASCII has no letters/figures shift code. That's the answer. A good way to memorize this, if you get this on your test, is make sure you realize Baudot uses 5 data bits per character. ASCII is 7 or 8. All right, this is a good way to do this. And keep in mind, only one of these answers has that. So if you remember Baudot is 5, ASCII is 7 or 8, you'll have it. It's the only answer that has those two. So they don't try and throw you with the shift code thing. It's all about knowing how many data bits per character Baudot has and ASCII. You'll have it right. It's easy. What is the equivalent circuit of a quartz crystal? Okay. And this is another one of those questions that's, oh my gosh, I don't know. Why do I care? It's one of those things. So here's the thing that will hopefully will help you with this. The answer to the question is motional capacitance and motional inductance and loss resistance in series, all in parallel with a shunt capacitor representing electrode and stray capacitance. How I remembered this was the word shunt. I know that's weird. It's just certain words with certain questions. I tried to make it simple because I have a very, very weak brain, honestly.
My name is Larry.
Yeah, sorry, I was too loud there. Sorry, but that's me. So when I knew I got quartz crystal in the equivalent circuit and it said shunt, I knew it was the right answer. And I got this on my extra ticket. I really did. Got it right. So try and put words with questions. Just answer a simple word that's in the answer with a question, and that might help you. It helped me. Now, here we go. You'll see this on the extra. I guarantee you'll get one. In figure 6-3, which is the schematic symbol for a NOR gate, so a NOR gate, okay? In this one's number 4, okay? It kind of looks like the Starfleet command little thing, on Star Trek where they have the little things on their chest. It looks a little bit like that. But it has a dot at the end. That's a NOR gate. All right, and we're going to go over gates here in a second because I know there's different gates to go through. 4 is the answer for this, but let's take a look at the gates. You have an AND gate, and it looks like a plug-in. That's how I remembered, and plug it in. That was how I did it. Or was one that you couldn't plug in, or was one that wasn't flat, so you couldn't plug it in. NOR was the one with a dot, so you couldn't plug it in, it had a dot. This is exactly how I remember this, so I'm trying to give you little Larry tips That worked for me. Not was a triangle with a dot. So not made it simple. How I looked at it was not with a triangle. Okay. And then the NAND, so the NAND gate was easy. That was like a round plug-in. So I knew that was NAND. XOR, which was rare, but that's one that's on the test. XOR you can't plug in. There's no way to plug it in because it has the little arc before it. It's good to know these different types of gates. And the reason why it is because if you can remember it in some way that will help you to determine which is which and what is what, you'll figure it out. And I know you can do it. You can. Next question today. What is indicated if the current reading on an RF ammeter placed in series with the antenna feed line of a transmitter increases as the transmitter is tuned to resonance? This is a $50 question. That's all it is. It's just a long, dumb question. And really what it means is, what happens if you had an RF ammeter placed in series with your antenna feed line when you were tuning your antenna to full resonance? What's going to happen to that ammeter? It's going to go up. That's what it does because more power is going to the antenna. Just take a good look at the question and don't get confused by it. This is basically saying, okay, what happens if your feed line has being tuned up on the antenna and you're getting more resonance out of your antenna matched to your radio? What is happening? More power is going out. So it's simple. Just don't let the words confuse you. Just try and read the question carefully and maybe write down a piece of scratch paper. You can take scratch paper with you with a calculator and just work it out that way. But don't let the questions fool you, okay? Which of the following geographic descriptions approximately describes line A? This one is simple, and I'll help you with a guaranteed way that you'll pass this, okay? What do Canadians say? A, right? Canadians, I'm not trying to make fun of you. Please don't be mad. Canadians say A a lot, right? Okay. In the U.S., we don't. All right. So line A is south of Canada. It's in the United States. In the U.S., we don't say A. And I know, again, weird correlation, but it worked, and it was on my general test, and it was on my extra test, too. So line A is south. It is in the United States, a line roughly parallel to and south of the border between the U.S. and Canada. Let's look at the lines. Line A is there. It's just basically around Seattle, Washington, goes to the east and heads up towards Maine and goes out into the Atlantic Ocean. Line B is similar. It's a similar distance away as line A is from the border, and it travels the same direction, same way. Line D is right there, right by Alaska, and protects that area between Alaska and Canada. And line C is in Alaska, which is north of Canada. It's pretty simple. And as you go out on this, there is another line. Okay, there is one below that goes towards Mexico, but this is the ones you got to be concerned about. Remember again, when you see this question and it talks about line A, right? Remember, we don't say A when we're talking in the U.S. typically. It's not part of our jargon, right? So it's a line parallel to and south of the border between the U.S. and Canada. You'll have it right. Everybody will go, yay! Okay, next question. This one's, I hope, helpful for you. What is the primary characteristic of chordal hop propagation? This is the coolest thing in the world, guys. Coolest thing in the world. This is where your signals go halfway around the world and don't hit the ground. It's the best way to describe it. Chordal hop is successive ionospheric refractions without an intermediate reflection from the ground. Okay? That's how chordal hop works. It literally goes up to the ionosphere and doesn't hit the ground. It stays up there and bounces around for a while and comes back down on the other side of the world. It's phenomenal. It really is. Remember, every time your signal does refract back off of the Earth's surface, you lose about 3 decibels, right? But not in chordal hop. Chordal hop, it stays up in the ionosphere, and it really makes your signal go far. It's a good way to remember it. Why is RF attenuation used when direction finding? The answer is simple. Because you want to reduce receiver overload with pattern nulls. You're finding the null is what you're looking for when you're looking for a hidden transmitter. If you're on a fox hunt, and you're looking for the null, and that's how you find where the antenna is. So you just turn the RF attenuation on when you get close, and that helps to reduce the receiver overload. That's it. How can an RF power amplifier be neutralized? This one, you might think, is by reducing the driving power, because again, the driving power to the amplifier will make the amplifier go less power, but it doesn't neutralize it. That's not it. The answer here is by feeding a 180-degree out-of-phase portion of the output back to the input. And you may ask why. Because it's on the test, that's why. Just remember, 180 degrees out of phase. You'll have it right, okay? What is the maximum power output permitted on the 160-meter band? This one, don't get stuck, because there's two here, okay? There's one in relation to an isotropic radiator. Remember, an isotropic radiator is made up. It's a made-up antenna in free space. A dipole has 2.15 dB of gain. This is about a dipole. It's 100 watts PEP, effective radiated power, relative to the gain of a half-wave dipole antenna. That's the answer you want. Don't do the isotropic antenna. Don't get stuck on this in the 60-meter band one. You look on the band plan. Here's where we are here in Region 2. It says very clearly, general, advanced, and amateur extra licensees may operate on these 5 channels on a secondary basis, which means there's shortwave there, with a maximum effective radiator power, ERP, of 100 watts PEP, so peak envelope power, relative to a half-wave dipole. It's right there on your band plan. So when you see this question come up, look for the 100 watts dipole on it. You'll have it right every single time. Hope that helps you guys out. Ham Test Online, I want to thank them for Ham Bites today. They have a wonderful product. I mean, gosh, it helped me go from no amateur radio license all the way to an amateur extra licensee. And I was grateful for that. They're found online in, all over the world, but in the States, they're really good with getting your license to you. And the cool thing is you got a money-back guarantee if you do not pass your test. Ham Test Online. Find them on the internet, and they will help you out. The best there is, I think. Good people. Good people. Happy Sunday to you in the world. I'm sorry we got a little bit of things going on the screen there. That is something that I can't control. And let me explain something real quick. Let me do some explaining here. If I schedule the shows, I could work it out where I don't get that happening. But because it's live, that happens. And I wish it didn't. Our moderators are really good at zapping them and getting them out of there. But keep in mind, they're bots. That's all they are. They're just bots. So I'm very, very sorry it happened. You have my apologies. Believe me, I don't want to have that on there either. Okay, friends? All right. Hayden comes to our channel this Friday, June 24th, 2300 UTC. Going to meet him from the VK land of warm kookaburras and all them beautiful kangaroos. Victor Kilo 7 Hotel from Ham Radio DX. That'll be fun. He's going to be answering your questions live about his YouTube channel. Going to talk about radio and all kinds of things. Please join us. It'll be a fun show. Remember, that's at 2300 UTC this Friday, June 24th. Then on July 9th at 1900 UTC, I'd like you to meet Carlos. Carlos, amazing dude. Carlos, sorry. 1900 UTC. He jumps out of airplanes and he talks parachute mobile. As he's jumping out of the plane, the guy is making calls on his radio. It's amazing. Please join us. It's July 9th at 1900 UTC. And this one here, we might need to change the time of. Right now it's set for 19 UTC. I'm trying to make it at, 1730. I think 1730 UTC we're trying for. This is July 16th with Kevin Zedyani of Bio Power. He's going to be answering questions worldwide about portable operating your rig on the road this summer. And really, it's going to be a great opportunity for you to ask what battery might work with your radio and how long that might work for it. So we're grateful for Kevin coming to the channel. And I'm sorry, I have a chance to see my nephews, and doggone, I'm not going to miss that chance. But please join us to meet Kevin on July 16th from BioNO. Then on July 30th at 1900 UTC, meet Jason from Ham Radio 2.0. We're going to talk to him. Have some fun. I can't wait for that. We're going to have a great show with Jason. We'll talk about his YouTube channel. We'll talk about radio. You can ask him any question you want to within reason, and he'll answer them, hopefully. Please join us. 1900 UTC. That's 8 p.m. in London, 3 p.m. in the Eastern Time Zone, and noon Pacific Time here in the States. All right. Don't forget today's question, which is, what was your goal getting into amateur radio, and have you reached it yet? Let us know. Make it part of the show. All right. Why don't we say this? Why don't we go ahead and get into a little bit of fun? and hopefully not get copyright zapped on this one too. So let's go ahead and I think we can play this. Oh boy, I can't play that one. Okay, here we go. We'll play this one. All right. We're going to honor somebody from the channel who I'm very grateful is here. Donald Weeks, November 5 Sierra Kilo Tango. He calls up from Richardson, Texas. He's a great guy. Look what he's done. DXCC, Master of South America, US 50 States, World Radio Friendship. He's got the Master of Europe, Continents of the World, US Counties, and Grid Squares. November 5 Sierra Kilo Tango. My gosh, look at what he's got here. He's got a gorgeous Flex 6600 and a Mercury, a Mercury 3 amplifier. My goodness gracious, look at this stuff he's got. Talking about his rig, he was licensed back in 91 along with his wife, November 5, Union Tango, Italy. And unfortunately, she's recently a silent key. Says he's recently jumped back into amateur radio in a big way. He's purchased a Retivas 52 FT3DR and an Anytone 878 UV for portable, Flex Radio 6600 for HF, Mercury 3 amp, and an FTM 400 for a shaft. He has a lot of stuff going on. He says he also recommends a ZL1 BQD coil for the DX Commander to obtain the full 80-meter band. That'd be from our friend Raleigh down in New Zealand. Thank you for the thing on your YouTube, on your QRZ page. That's nice. Says he's been interested in FT8, JS8 call, SSB, Wires X, DMR, and D-Star. His passion is antenna experimentation, and it's one of the great joys of the hobby for him. It's a joy to participate in such an international hobby. I feel we are all friends with a common love of radio. 73 and hope to see you on the air. 1010 number 59650. And that's our dear friend Don from Richardson, Texas, November 5 Sierra Kilo Tango. Where is he at? Well, there's his antenna. There's his 6-meter Moxon. And there's him in the state of Texas. Yep. He's a suburb of the Dallas Metroplex. Head out a little bit farther. He's right there in Dallas, really, right in the Dallas metro area there, and he's in the south central part of the United States. Don, I want to just say thank you for watching Ham Radio Live. To me, this is an honor to say thank you and show you a little appreciation for just being part of the show. Don, thank you. It was enjoyed to spend some time with you yesterday on our Discord chat, and for me to share that time with you meant a great deal. My best to you, my friend. A very good day for you, okay? I mean that. I really do. All right, we're also going to be doing some fun stuff. We really are. We're going to celebrate somebody else who is here, and he waited a long time for this antenna to get put up. All winter long, he had his hex beam. He got it built. It's the KIO hex beam. And the poor guy had it up, and he got stuck in the flipping ice, of all things, right? So you got your antenna. It's in the ice, but he's making calls. He's making calls like to Australia and Japan, stuck in the ground in the ice. No kidding. And so, of all things, this guy's here today, and his wife is here today, too. Here's his wife, Kelly. Kelly, thank you for coming today. It's an honor to have you here. It really is. And it's always our pleasure to have your hubby here as well, too. And he adds a lot to the show, so we're grateful that he's here as well. But let's take a look at what Kelly took pictures of, and we'll have a special song for you as well. This is Huey Lewis in the News. The song's called Jacob's Ladder. Hope you enjoy it, because this went up literally step by step. Here is the gang putting this together. Frank, and there is our dear friend. Look at it. This shirt. I love the shirt. The Win Radio shirt. It's awesome. Oh my gosh, this is just so you. You know, when I think of you, I always think of you just being so fun and neat for the show as well. So thank you from the bottom of my heart, really, for putting this all together. This was neat to get your antenna videos. And when I say that, I really, really do mean it. It's something that, for me, means a lot in the show. So I want to just, to me, William, say thank you. Will Myers is there in the yellow. His friend Phil is there, and that's Sherm. So that's the gang that's going to put up the hex beam antenna. And step by step, they did it yesterday. Take a look at this. There is the mask going up. They've got the guy wires for it. It's all there. Starting to get up there a little bit, and there they're getting the hex beam all set up. You see it all spread out there along the ground, and as they get it hooked up to the mast, you just see things starting to come together. There is the KIO hex beam. Here's the guys getting it put up into the rotor and thrust bearing. There it is, getting guide all in one place. And this guy waited for 6 months to get this antenna up. And there it is. Isn't that great? This is so cool. Will Myers, Kilo Alpha 8 Golf India Mike. I really am. My heart to you, as a person that is just having a hard time getting my directional up, my heart is so happy for you, man. I can't put into words. William, congratulations on getting your beam up. Have fun, man, and make calls all over the world. Clean up on field day for me, would you please? That'd be great. We have a topic question, last call for it. What was your goal getting into amateur radio, and have you received it? Let's take a look upstairs, see how the Angry Hams feel about today's show.
You think that Jekyll Hyde stuff is expensive? No, my wife has a whole glass of it every morning.
The Angry Hams, never disappointing, are they? Got a good game. Good game. Every time North America gets a lead, the world comes back 60-60. Here's the question. Where does the term DX originate? Now, we look at DX as outside our country. That's how we think of it in amateur radio. But where did it start? Okay. Was it A, required by the ARRL? Was it B, adopted by the National DX Association? Was it C, early telephone term for distant exchange? Or was it D, first used by the Radio Society of Great Britain? Okay. Where did the term DX first come out? Let us know with A, B, C, or D. First one gets it right for their country, wins the first one. Good luck. It's fun. And while we're working on it, yeah, we'll see. I don't know. If it's meant to be wine, it's meant to be. That's kind of how I look at things in life. I'd love to have it. Don't get me wrong. There's nothing I would rather have than a directional. And I'd give up my amplifier to have it. Truly would. But it's just a matter of getting it, Steve, first one, comes from Europe. This is 2 Echo 0 X-Ray Sierra Hotel. He said C. So where does the term DX originate? He said C, early telephone term for distant exchange. Is that possible? It is. He's right. Steve, well done. Winan's going to get on my antenna, even if he has to do a flyover. Bless your heart. Thank you, Winan. Winan also had it correct. So did Charlie at Red Summit RF. Don't forget, he's got a show coming up within an hour. We'll be off by then, Chuck. I promise. We're almost done. Winan also with the Dirk with C. Aaron Lutz, good to see you. C. Wicked Loud One, always good to see you. With with C, excuse me. Andy Cowley with the D. Kel had C. Kelly with C. And Graham had C in Australia. Okay, final question today. At which point will a resonant unloaded quarter wave antenna become resonant again? This is the basic question. At which point will a resonant unloaded quarter wave antenna become resonant again? Now, think about this for a moment. Will it be A, at even half wave multiples? Would it be, A, at even quarter wave multiples, Would it be B, at even half wave multiples? Would it be C, at odd quarter wave multiples? Or would it be D, at odd half-wave multiples? Please let me know with A, B, C, or D, and we will let you know which continent gets it right first. Good luck. These good old antennas, these quarter waves, unlimited. Keep in mind, it's got to be unloaded. There can't be a coil on it. That's the main thing. Can't be a coil. Aaron Lutz, first in from Canada with C, and that's interesting because if this is correct, that means we have a tie score again. First, the world came out front. Can it be possible that North America caught up again? They sure did. They sure as heck did. Aaron, you did it for North America. Well done. Yes, it's at odd quarter wave multiples. Now, if you don't have a loaded vertical antenna, here's how this works. If you have a quarter wave antenna, every odd multiple will resonate again, okay, at that frequency. So if you have a 40 meter, you'll get part of 15. You won't get 20, but you'll get 15. Think of it in megahertz. Best way to do it. So you got, and this will be on the test too, by the way. True story. So at 7 megahertz, it's not going to go at 14, but it'll go at 21. That's an odd multiple. Okay. Then it's not going to go at 28. That's an even multiple. Okay. But it'll go again at 35, which doesn't help us because it's not the amateur radio band anyway. But you get multiple wavelengths out of some antennas, and 40 meters is one of them. Aaron, well done. Also getting that one. Dirk in Wisconsin. Steve got it in the UK. Adesh in Trinidad's on top of things with A. We got that one with C. Wine in Africa with C. Andy Kelly with C. Kelly Houston with B. You're so close, Kelly. And thanks for the photos, too. Nice work. Kelly, you did great for William. You really did. Thank you. All right, guys, we are going to close the show in a moment. Before we do that, I am so excited to share some Discord stuff with you, and fun it will be. I hope you enjoyed a little bit of stuff we got. We have a fun Discord channel. Before we get started, I think the best thing to do is probably go ahead and start the music. You'll understand why in a second. Here's our Discord page on ham-radio-live. There's going to be a link to it right here at the description section within 10 minutes of this video being out there, okay? It's going to be fun. And you know, if you join us on the voice chat or just put some stuff down, we have a great radio help desk there. We can help you with that. Projects. Man, this is a place where you can learn and help others about radio. Here's the funnies and all that stuff. Hot, all that stuff. Pretty cool stuff. This is neat stuff. Dirt with some very big news, so we get this out. Everyone, just a friendly reminder, try to keep things PG-13. Now, this is important, guys. I mean this. No cursing, nothing else. Don't go anything that's inappropriate, okay? I want kids to be able to use this thing. So please think of an 8-year-old being on here or a 10-year-old that has an interest in amateur radio. So please keep it good, okay? If you're in a similar group, know your audience. So please keep it real clean, all right? Dirk, thank you for this. This is very important, okay? Also, Andy New getting ready for today's show. He said, I want to be happy. I mean, a lot of people there. Andy, thank you, buddy. Appreciate that. Here's one for Martin. Look at this Motorola GM Series 340, 360, and the trifecta, the 382. Well done, Martin. You got them all three. Look at this. This is Jeff, our friend Jeff from Hayden Island in North Portland. Look at this. Alpha Delta 7, Lima, November, keeping in radio contact with the others via VHF 2 meters at the blast zone of Mount St. Helens. Guys, he's only 5 miles from the crater at 4,255 feet of elevation. Jeff, that's cool. That's a cool photo, man. And we travel to Bahrain now. And you find out the reason why we're playing this song. You really do. Here's Tom driving in his vehicle. He wants to go on there. He says, too hot and too humid to go play radio today. Now take a look at that. It says 46 degrees Celsius. How hot is that in Fahrenheit? 114.8 degrees Fahrenheit. Oh, man. Tom. Yeah, I don't think I'd want to go outside and play radio either. I understand. Next, Seamus talking about his new video that's out there on the KG-UV6X. Well done, sir. I hope you get some people watching that. Also, I'll show Kevin's new video on the next show. So Kevin in Iowa, Kilo Zero Kilo Lima Bravo, will have his video, his latest one he's dropped on the next show. Here's one that's very important to me to play, and I want to get the song down because this is something serious, okay? This is important. This comes from Country Strong and Free. He says, painting the bike, the red is looking good, I think. Wish the homie was here to see it. He would have loved it. Rest in peace, homie. And then the next photo. Let me read this. This is sent to me. He says, it's not ham related, but I have a picture of me and my buddy Steven. It's actually the only picture that was ever taken of us together. He passed away in a bike wreck back in 2020. If you wanted to share it, there you go. I'm honored to share that photo. And there's a personal reason why. I grew up with a cousin named Jeff. Jeff and I were Mike and Ike alike. We were tied at the hip, man. Couldn't keep us apart. If I was in trouble, he was in trouble. And the other way around. You know, we were just totally buddies. We were the best of friends. We never called ourselves cousins. We called ourselves brothers. And I lost him in 2007 on a motorcycle accident. So that really hits home for me, too. I understand, Country Strong. Thank you for being kind enough to send me the picture. It's really my pleasure to have been able to show it. And again, I'm really sorry you lost your friend. That's awful hard. Really mean that. All right, guys, that's the end of the show today. Don't forget Charlie at Red Summit RF. Please join him at 4 p.m. That's 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. That's in 48 minutes from now. So please join Charlie on his channel, Red Summit RF. He's revved up, ready to go. He's had his vacation time. Now he's going to go have fun with you please join him at Red Summit RF. My name's Larry. My call sign Amateur Radio is Kilo 7 Hotel November. The whole passion is to help you get your amateur radio license. I hope today's amateur extra license questions helped you. And just a little goofy stuff of how I remembered things on the test, okay? There are ways you can memorize little things that go with other things, and over time, learn through repetition of taking the tests. Keep trying. Don't give up. Kilo Golf 2 Mike is a great example. He tried 3 times to get his extra, and he got it, but he never gave up. Don't you give up either. You're worth it. You're 100% worth get that license. Don't you dare give up on it. You deserve it, okay? Contact someone if you're not in amateur radio, like the Radio Society of Great Britain. They'll help you to get on the air and get your first license. www.rsgb.org. Please hit the Contact Us bar there, and they'll help you. Let them know where you're located. They'll send you an amateur radio club as close to you as possible. www.rsgb.org. Speaking of them, we're going to stay in UK with our sign-off. My name's Larry. By call sign, Amateur Radio's Kilo 7 Hotel November. May God bless you and keep you. May He keep His face to shine upon you and be gracious unto you. May the Lord grant you favor, give you His peace. Goodbye, everybody. God bless you.
'Tis but a few hours to sun up, and you'll be able to get out into the garden bright and early. I was sitting in my garden at 5 o'clock this morning. I know nobody around here believes me, but it's absolutely true. I had to sit in the garden for an hour or so waiting for TVAM to start at 6. Well, if you're up at 5 tomorrow, you'll have an hour and 55 minutes to wait, because on a Sunday, TVAM programs begin at 6:55 with Good Morning Britain. Our programs start at 9:25 with Cartoon Time and the wonderful world of Professor Kitzel. And if you are as heavily into cartoons as I am, you must make a special note that the Glenn Michael Cavalcade tomorrow is not at its usual time. It is indeed much earlier, at 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock. And if you have small people in the house who are addicted to Glenn Michael, maybe you ought to tell them about that at breakfast time. Well, I'll be back with you tomorrow night, but now let's take a look together at all the programs that we can enjoy on STV on Sunday. Incidentally, if you're really keen, we start showing the test card at 5:15 in the morning. But Radio 4th doesn't start until 6 o'clock, when Ken Haynes is along with Ken's Den. There's news at 8, followed by View from Earth with Anne Pagan. And at 8:30 on Radio 4th, Alex Shuttleworth is back with Solid Gold Sunday. Radio Clyde doesn't show the test card, but it has music all night. And All Right All Night tonight is presented by Shagan and Mark Goodyear. At 6 o'clock there's news, followed by Jim Simon's Sunday Show. And these are the programs you can enjoy on your local independent radio services. Well, Channel 4 programs continue for ages and ages and ages, so if you want to retune, you'll find all sorts of things going on there. But if you're going to switch off now, well, please don't forget to switch off your television set and, for safety's sake, disconnect it from the mains for the night. From all of us here, good night.
A blindfold, Mom? Really? Is this necessary?
Happy graduation, sweetie!
I can't believe you got me this car! Amazing! Status update. Best day of my life! I'm calling Grandma. Grandma.
Should we tell him that?
No, let him tire out first.
Jogger! Check out my sweet ride! How can you jog when you can drive?
Not yet. He's losing steam. Just let it run its course.
Marry me right now!
So marrying you right
Oh,
now.
we're getting married!
This is the best day of my life.
Hey, Steve.
Best gift ever!
Love the car.